Hi, you asked me how you could use the spreadsheet program on your computer to draw some basic charts. So I'll put this little video together to show you how you can do that. So first, let's get the program running. From the Start button on your computer, go down to this little search section here and type in Calc, C-A-L-C. Now that will show you all the programs and files that have the word Calc in them. Amongst the programs, you'll probably see the calculator. That's not what we want, obviously. We're after this OpenOffice.org calc. Now it's badly named, but that's the spreadsheet program, and it's very similar to the Excel spreadsheet that you may have used before. So we'll start that up. So as you can see, basic spreadsheet stuff here. So in this little demo, I'm just going to put in some basic rainfall data, and we'll make a chart out of that. So let's start with a couple of columns. We've got some months and some rainfall. For the months, let's start with January, and we'll drag that out to about 6 months. Now what I've done there is I've just clicked on the bottom right corner. I've clicked with the left mouse button and dragged it across. When I let go, it's automatically recognised Jan as months, and so it's automatically figured out what I'm trying to put in there. For some rainfall, let's put in 10 millimeters, 15, 34, 23, 48 and 18. There we go. Now, so there's our raw data. It's a little bit messy. I'm just going to neaten it up a little bit. So I've just clicked and dragged to highlight that section, and I will center all that so it's a little bit neater. And let's give it a bit of color as well. So clicked and drag along there. And I want to have this in the selection as well, so I'm going to hold the control button and click there, and so now it's selected all that. So let's make that a nice, let's make it a pretty blue color. There we go. And while we've got it selected, let's make it bold as well. There we go. So there's our raw data. So now I want to make a chart out of that. So I just simply left click and drag to select it, and then I go from the insert menu down near the bottom, chart, insert chart. So there we have just the default chart that it's given us. That's not necessarily exactly what we may want. You see that's given us a column graph. There's all sorts of different types we can have. We can have a bar chart, a pie chart, an area chart, but let's go with a line chart. And we don't just want dots, let's have actual lines happening here. So there you go, you can see we've got our line chart there. It's already figured out that this is rainfall. I pulled that from our actual raw data, the label there. We've got our months and our rainfall on the y-axis there. Okay, so maybe we'd like to actually put some titles on here. Let's have a look and see what we can do. Instead of looking at the chart type, let's go down to the chart elements and click on that. And here we've got all our titles. So let's put in a title there for monthly rainfall. And the x-axis is our months, and the y-axis is our millimeters. So you can see that now has put our labels here. And in fact, because we've called this monthly rainfall, having this little legend here for the rainfall, it's kind of obvious, so we can possibly even just get rid of that altogether. Unclick that, and there we go. So now that's gone. And so that's not looking too bad. Some other little things you might want to do. We've got our sharp jagged lines here, which is as accurate as it can be, but sometimes you might want it to look nice and smooth. So under the chart type, there's this smooth lines. Let's click that, and there we go. We've got nice smooth lines for our graph now. Once you're done, once you're happy with how it looks, we can click the finish button. And so we've got our graph here. It's all embedded in the page. If we do want to edit that again, then we can right click on it and go edit. And then we can do things like move the headings around and things like that. If you then actually want to go in and change the whole line type again and other things about the graph, then once you've gone into this edit mode, you right click again and choose chart type, and that brings this back up. So you can fix your chart type, or you can change some data ranges, which we'll get into a little bit more later. So that's a simple graph. Now let's go for something just a little bit more complex. I'll just delete that. Now let's say we want to add the highest temperatures in as well. So temperature, let's say cooler day 23, 26, 35, 30. Much cooler day here. Let's have it drop right down to 18 and then back up to 26 again. So I'll just center this to make it look nice and pretty with the rest, and the temperature here as well. Now, a quick way to actually make this look just like the rest is I click one of the existing cells that are formatted the way I like it. I'll click this little paintbrush, and then I click in the cell that I want to change. And so that just basically copies all the formatting from that cell into this cell. I'll just widen that a little bit so it fits. There we go. Now I select the whole lot, insert chart, and there's our chart again. Now you'll straight away see this is looking quite weird. We've got rainfall and temperature, and we've got the months down here. What's going on? Let's have a look at a line chart and see if that fixes it. No, that's still chaos. You're going to say, what the hell is this crap? Alright, so what it's done is it thinks that the row along the top is what we want for the legend, and the column down the side here is what we're trying to graph. So that's all confused. That's not what we want. So let's go to data range. We've got data series in rows or data series in columns. So let's just change that over. And there you go. It's flipped things around now. So we've got our rainfall and our temperature, and our graph is looking much, much better. So let's just stick a title back on there. Let's just call that weather, and we'll finish that. Now once we've actually got our graph in place, if we want to change any of these values, we don't actually need to go in and edit the graph again. We can just edit the actual data source itself. So for the rainfall we might put millimeters, and now it updates the graph. And for temperature we might put Celsius, and again it's updated the graph. Similarly with any actual data, if you want to change any data values, so let's make that 50, and you'll see the graph has changed to reflect that. Let's make this 50 as well, hit enter, and there the graph changes as well. So once you've got the graph in place, you can just go and edit your data as much as you like, and it'll update for you. The only time you really need to go back into the graph is if, for example, you wanted to add additional columns, then you would need to go back into the graph and change the range that it's using. The easiest way might actually be to delete the graph and just select it and create a new graph. So there you go. Hopefully that tells you a few of the basic stuff about charts. You can do a lot more with it than that, but that should be enough to get you going. Hope that helps. Bye bye.